guys, it's me, sad anime boy here. Just got done listening to some trap music in front of my old 90s computer that looks like a giant box, and didn't finish my ramen before I fell asleep listening to that trap music because I'm such a sad anime boy. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure the joke there either. But that leads me into my point. This is going to be one of those videos where I don't really commit a lot to getting my points across that much. This review is going to be one of my philosophies. If you put effort into your product that I'm reviewing, whether it be a comic, a book, or a movie, hey man, I'll gladly make an internet video about it, and I'll actually work on it. I'll edit it, I'll make a good thumbnail. But if you have no passion or creativity in your craft, or you just completely fuck it up to all means, hey, why should I give you the benefit of the doubt of making a hard-made video where I actually try and do multiple takes? Don't get me wrong, I'm going to edit this and make a thumbnail. I don't want to look that lazy, but let's just say this won't be my best glowing review ever. So with that being said, let me tell you my thoughts on the movie Shitstorm. Right off the bat, the first thing they completely fuck up was the entire plot, the entire premise of it all. I don't know how you fuck up a disaster movie. Literally, just have shit blow up and you'll satisfy me. I had no intention of focusing on this movie. I don't usually do this, but I turned my brain off for this one. And I knew what it was going into. A bad movie. A terrible, terrible, bad movie that had no passion or creativity put into it. Yet I wasn't expecting it to be this bland and shallow. Don't get me wrong, it succeeded in one thing that I wanted it to do, make me laugh. In all the wrong ways. But at the end of the day, I just see it as this corporate husk of a movie. I think it's a movie that Warner Brothers wanted to get like a tax write-off for. You know, movies. I hear this is a trade secret from Red Letter Media, that Hollywood does this to get like tax write-offs and tax deductible stuff going on. And that is exactly probably what this movie is. I don't know why they would make this. It wasn't to bring any notice to environmental hazards we're doing or anything else like that or of that nature. It just feels like, hey, we don't want the government stealing all our money, so let's get some tax write-offs. That's just so dumb to me if that's actually true. But anyway, this story follows Gerard Butler going around in space trying to turn off a weather machine that's killing people by the millions. Sounds like a stupid, interesting plot, right? You know, weather. Fucking cool. It's a dumb plot. Dumb action popcorn movie. Yet it completely fucks up being a destruction movie. It's mostly just whodunit. It's a mystery movie. The main plot that they focus like 75% of their screen time to. Who done it? Who's the murderer? Who's the person pulling all the strings on this shuttle we have here? They try to frame it as, this is going to be a spoiler-filled review by the way, you won't see this, so who cares. They try to frame it as they literally frame it as the French guy did it. Like, literally framing it. Like, hey, look, it's French guy, and he's not with the group. Must be up to some shenanigans, you know, killing people with his fucking satellite powers. Turns out he's not, because they wouldn't blow their load that early in the movie. It's actually the British guy. The guy who has literally like 3 scenes in the movie. That's great storytelling. And also, the biggest contradiction with the British guy being the actual deviant and culprit is the fact that this plot hole exists where he's in the room with Gerard Butler and the rest of the fucking crew he's working with. Yet, the French guy is out of the room. Then again, framing him as the culprit, but he's not. He's not the fucking do-gooder. He's not the do-badder. What even was this? Like, it was this terrible-looking boss fight. It looked like a boss fight from a really bad video game. It looked like the fight from The Surge or Dead Rising 3's terrible crane boss fights, if you've ever seen those. Where there's fucking cranes spinning around trying to kill Gerard Butler and the crew, but the British guy's in the room, and that brought a question to my mind. How on earth is he controlling this, if he is the culprit? Does he have like a mechanical dick? Does he control it with his dick? What's going on there? It's a huge plot hole. It completely fucking it makes the story completely fall apart. But that's not even the worst part of the story. The worst part of the story is Ed Harris's character has this plot. I don't know what it is with Ed Harris picking these terrible roles. I think he just wants to see his career crumble in his own hands, but he plays, I think, the Secretary of Service, Secretary of State. Again, wasn't paying that much attention. He wants to be the president, so he can be the best president. He's got some mucky motivations. to say the least. But his main motivation, I came out with thinking, was he wanted to be the president who stopped all the terrorists and all the Russians by wiping them off the face of the earth. Have you ever heard of something called anarchy? This is just a thought, this is just a food for thought, but I'm pretty sure if the world was engulfed by a giant fucking storm, anarchy would reign rampant. No one will care if you have a badge that says, I control the United States. Like hell you do. The West Coast and fucking East Coast are gone. I don't care about you. I'm gonna go looting and doing some fucking illegal shit. That's so fucking stupid how they didn't think that through. Who the fuck wrote this? It's so dumb. And also the fact that he has the British guy on the inside trying to fucking destroy the entire world. What makes you think the British guy won't say, oh look, it's North America. Well, we had a deal, but I like killing people. I'm perfectly content with destroying billions of lives, so gone off the face of the earth is the United States. That's all I'll talk about the story. I'm sure you can get your own grasp of what the story's like. It's unoriginal. It has an A to B to C structure. Gerard Butler gets fucking down on his luck. The plot just happens to him, and then the ending, where they have a big fucking action sequence that looks terrible on CGI, just god-awful. So let's get talking more about this shit movie, because I'm not fully done yet. I still got, like, 3 more things to say. Well, I'll cover this shit really quick. The CGI. Wow, that was bad, but laughably bad. There was one scene in particular where Gerard Butler's in a spacesuit, and he's flying around because someone's controlling his spacesuit, some fucking how, and he's flying around looking like a balloon, just smacking into everything, like solar panels, the ship. It's hilarious. It's one of the funniest damn things in the movie. Yeah, the CGI in a lot of this movie is definitely not going to hold up in a decade or two. It is going to look terrible. It looks terrible now. It's going to look terrible at the end of the day. Lastly, the characters, I suppose. I always end on the character portion. There's not really a lot to break down here. There are a lot of no-name fucking characters that I can remember because they're barely in it. Literally, it starts off with a fucking narration from his daughter, Gerard Butler's daughter in the movie. And then she's in it for like 5 more scenes. That's it. I don't know what the inclusion of her character was. Maybe to have some semblance of like relatability with Gerard Butler. Because, hey, look, he's an everyday man who has got a kid he's got to save. Yeah! Except I don't care because he's not in the fucking movie enough, so... No! Gerard Butler, that poor guy. Ever since 300, he's been in some fucking terrible movies. London Has Fallen, or whatever that movie's called. Gods of Egypt. And now this. Make your fucking roles a little better next time, dude. Yeah, to show how much of a professional critic I am, I'm gonna Google the fucking name of his brother because he's so memorable. His brother's name was, Jim Strugges. The fucking guy is terrible in this movie. He plays like the poor man's version of Frank West. And I'm not bashing Frank West, if you even know who that is. He's the character from Dead Rising. I'm not bashing him. I'm bashing the guy who's playing the wannabe Frank West. Because he plays like a 20-year-old Frank West. Terribly. The mannerisms and the way his voice inflects. Every scene. I just wanted to fucking get out and just smack his ass. I was like, what you doing, man? Ow. And I think that's literally the only characters I can mention that are actually prevalent in the plot. The characters that keep getting screen time. The president kind of gets screen time. I think his name is Andy... Something Andy. Fucking don't remember his name. And Harris, like I said, watching that career crumble like dust in his hands. Abby Cornish, she was in this, and I gotta say she played a role. She didn't do terribly. She did that American accent very well again. Literally the only character who I actually liked in this movie and thought was actually quite legitimately good and relatable was Zazie Beetz. She plays the millennial. You know, she gives the heart to the movie. Because the rest of the movie is just bland, old people talking, not really making those references. And it may sound like I'm being sarcastic, I'm not. She was actually legitimately good. However, the movie keeps doing that awesome trope of getting rid of a character who's actually good. And I actually related to and thought was, hey, this is a pretty good character. Again, don't know what this movie's problem is. They have interesting stuff. Interesting, stupid fucking premise. You can sell anyone a premise about, hey, look, a giant storm. Reminds me of a fucking terrible PS2 game. But the execution was so fucked up and so poorly done. I was bored out of my goddamn mind for this movie. It's a bad movie. It's a really bad movie, okay? There's nothing really admirable or good about it. It feels like Warner Brothers said, hey, we like money. We don't want the government to steal some of our money, so tax write-off. $1 million invested in this movie. Fuck off. Sorry for all the cussing. Sorry for all the terrible points I made. This isn't my best review. I'm willing to accept that. I didn't put effort into it as much as I usually do with my other videos because, hey, you don't put effort in your movie. Why should I put effort in my reviews that much? But if you have not seen Geostorm, you haven't seen Geostorm. That's it. You haven't seen fucking Geostorm. No one's seen this movie. It's a complete flop. I think it's going to lose like $100 million. That's how big of a flop it is. You want my honest opinion? I'm going to get up close to the camera now. Please just watch Blade Runner. Blade Runner's really good. Inside joke, Blade Runner's really good. You should watch Blade Runner. Sorry I fogged the fucking camera up. That must be funny. Do all that YouTube schmutz, you know? Keep living life. Man, I don't really know how to end these videos yet. Thank you for the internet view, and I shall see you in the next video I make. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.